Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you? This is for African Americans. If there was a banking crisis, then you target money for the banks. If there was a national disaster, you target your money for the national for disaster relief.
That's not how America works.
We want to give those young people and young Native Americans like them the support they deserve. We have to invest in them and believe in them and love them.
Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you?
That's not how America works.
President Barack Obama has begun new initiatives aimed at helping young American Indians or Native Americans overcome the many challenges they face, from poverty to substance abuse.
Why not target the African American community?
That's not how America works.
On CNN, I was questioned after I spoke in 2007 about Barack Obama. And CNN said, well, what do you think about this young man? I said, I think he's brilliant. I think he has fresh ideas. But I'm under no illusion that even if he did become president, that he could change the reality of Black suffering in America. Because when you are running for something, you can say a lot of things. But when you sit in the seat and you feel the energy of electricity putting something on your backside, the forces that surround power is always the real power. President Obama does not run this country. President Obama has been chosen to govern white affairs. And if in that process we get something, it won't be because the governing powers want it. It will be because we organized and forced a government to speak to our needs.
In partisan politics, it appears that gender, not race, is a larger factor in shaping the partisan lens of a growing number of Black men. They select the popular male choice for a party, the GOP, over the popular race choice, the Democrats. From many Black male perspectives, the Democratic Party is perceived as weak, says Charles Cherry, and that's why you've got some brothers who appreciate Trump, even as bad as Trump has been. Barack Obama decided to openly endorse Kamala Harris, which really isn't surprising in my opinion. However, many onlookers were surprised how Barack Obama addressed Black men for not supporting her.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
A lot of critics viewed Barack's comments as distasteful. It was chastising to many, and Black men were not very fond of the policies or lack thereof that they claimed the Obama-Biden administration produced for Black people. While in office, Obama has acknowledged that he is the president of the United States and not Black America. Specifically, in an interview with Black Enterprise in 2012, he was asked, how do you respond to criticism that your administration hasn't done enough to support Black businesses? He responds, my general view has been consistent throughout, which is that I want all businesses to succeed. I want all Americans to have opportunity. I'm not the president of Black America. I'm the president of the United States of America. According to NPR in 2011, Obama gave a speech in front of the Congressional Black Caucus and said, I expect all of you to march with me and press on. Take off your bedroom slippers. Put on your marching shoes. Shake it off. Stop complaining. Stop grumbling. Stop crying. We are going to press on. We've got work to do. For some, it was another example of a tone perceived as patronizing from Obama. when he speaks to primarily African American audiences. Maxine Walters made the point that Obama doesn't ever speak the same way publicly to other organizations of representing other key voter blocs, for instance, Hispanic or Jewish groups, only blacks. She said on the CBS Early Show, "I'm not sure who the president was addressing. I found that language a bit curious because the president spoke to the Hispanic caucus, and certainly they're pushing him on immigration. And despite the fact that he's appointed Sotomayor to the Supreme Court, he has an office for excellence for Hispanic education right in the White House. They're still pushing him. He certainly didn't tell them to stop complaining." So I don't know who he was talking to because we're certainly not complaining. On the Your Black Politics blog, Yvette Carnell wrote, "As writer Charing Ball noted, Obama may as well have said, take off your headscarf and wave caps, put away the jug of Kool-Aid and grape drink, stop frying that chicken." Of course, Black people aren't wearing slippers. To the contrary, we're fighting without any help from the executive branch, mind you, to keep our heads above water in this recession. But President Obama isn't speaking to us, but about us, to conservative-leaning independents. He's speaking to the stereotype that they hold, that African Americans are lazy critters who aren't capable of self-actualization. And it was remarkable to hear Obama bark patronizingly at an African American crowd, then watch the crowd answer and applause. In a word, heartbreaking. I think this can be true. Politicians have a technique of polytricking, as they say, and basically using Black people as scapegoats, in my opinion. After Obama had left office and Hillary and Trump were basically running for presidential office, the Democratic Party was still disfavorable for many Black men. Thus, many voted for presidential candidate Trump. Many associated Hillary with being a sneaky person and similar to the whim of her husband, Bill Clinton. However, President Trump has been favorable to many Black men who hold conservative beliefs, and also because his quote-unquote tell it like it is personality. Moreover, many Black men find Trump more suitable because they feel the economy was better under him. And again, Kamala is perceived as someone who quote-unquote put innocent Black men away. But though I am simply a Black woman in earshots of Black men, I think it's best that you hear from the naysayers themselves. So I'm going to play some public opinion, and then I'm going to conclude.
This message goes out to Barry, better known as Barack Hussein Obama, telling me and other Black men how we should vote for Kamala Harris. Let me tell you something here. Number one, Kamala did not grow up like me. She grew up in upper middle class. Really, that don't matter. I'm voting on policies, and her policy sucks. So Obama, keep your mouth shut, okay? You're the gatekeeper. You kept the gate on a lot of Black people being ignorant. Quite a few of them have awakened to the lies of the Democrat Party. So Barack Hussein Obama, kiss our ass because we voting for Trump.
The motherfucker played in our face for 8 years, did y'all? Came on a year after he was out of the presidency. The dude asked him why you didn't do nothing for Black people. The motherfucker said, I can't do nothing for just a certain group of people. But you did do something for a certain group of people, sir. The LGBT community is a certain group of people that you did shit for. The immigrants is a certain group of people you created shit for.
Good afternoon, friends. I got something to say. I saw with Barack Obama, the greatest con ever pulled upon the United States of America, showed up, slithered up on stage last night, and he decided to tell the brothers that we need to get our Black asses behind Kamala because we're Black and she Black, and that's what we do as Black people. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, this fool who is confused about his sexuality at best, gonna stand back and tell me, as a full-blooded Black man, Who else you vote for? And you notice the media photoshopped this Obama out of history. Don't y'all forget Barack Obama's white and Dunham. They have successfully erased her from history, like the bitch never existed. And it's questionable about who his real daddy is. He claims Barack Obama Sr. is his father, but a lot of people think it's Frank Marshall Davis. Google Frank Marshall Davis, Barack Obama, and you'll see what I'm talking about. He don't look nothing like Barack Obama Sr., but he's almost a spitting image of Frank Marshall Davis, who was a communist and a Marxist. And his mother was sleeping with both of them when she conceived. So Barack Obama, don't tell us who put us on blast as black people for not supporting Kamala Harris. Who the hell made you king of the Negroes? What, you like sitting on your throne somewhere talking about, I'm Barack Obama, I'm king of the Negroes. That's right. And they'll do exactly what I tell them to do. We ain't doing shit you tell us to do. I'm so sick of him. I wish he would just take his money, take Big Mike, and go somewhere and leave us the hell alone and never come back. Well, I've said my piece. If you agree with what I say, appreciate it. If you don't, I appreciate you for listening. Thank you.
So I just got this one question for Barack Obama. When you gonna talk to the white man? When you gonna talk to the Hispanic man and the Asian man and all the other race of men out here in America that are voting? When are you gonna talk to them about who they need to vote for? I really can't stand this. I really don't understand why black people of certain caliber or status who think they're quote unquote better than us regular black folks, these type of black folks, the celebrities included, why do they feel like they can talk to the black people the way they want to talk to black people? Like, we supposed to just fall in line. Are we they Negroes now? Are we their Negroes? Because I'm confusion. I just really can't understand this. Like, if you can't see the pandering, you're blind.
Barack. As a native of Chicago that watched your policies not do a single thing for black people, not anything for crime, not anything for a better way of living, it is insulting that you decided to get up here and pander us as black men for not voting for Kamala Harris. You are only voting for Kamala yourself because you have no choice. We both know that deep down inside, you wanted the open convention, but the optics didn't look good. We also both know that there were way better candidates that you guys could have went with for president, but you guys didn't. And so now they bring you out, the big guns, because they need you to come up here and clean up this mess. Because you know what? You are a well-spoken man. Because I can tell you right now that your nominee is not. I can tell you that your nominee doesn't answer questions. Your nominee stutters all the time, and she spits out word salads. And you expect for us to vote for her. I'm black. I'm not stupid. I vote for policies. I vote for what's going to allow for my way of living to change. I vote so that everyone can have a chance and continue to be a free thinker and not have censorship. And then you got up here on this stage and insulted every black man in America. And it's not okay. And so now you guys are sitting here and you want us to vote for this administration, which caused the highest inflation, grocery prices suck, and they don't let everybody in the border. And if I remember, Barack Obama, you were the deporter-in-chief. You deported over 3 million people. And for your nominee to not even be smart enough that when someone asks her a question, what would she do differently than what Joe Biden did, and her to say nothing is even more wild. So before you decide to get up here and attack every single black man on this planet, I want you to take a self-reflection and think about the behaviors that you're doing and that you're trying to put on us because we don't want to vote for Kamala. I want you to really look down deep inside of yourself and say, would you really vote for her if you wasn't a part of the Democratic Party? If it wasn't your job, would you really vote for her? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. Because the scrutiny that you went through to become president, she hasn't even went through. No one voted for her at all. You guys inserted her. And so now here you come, being the sweeper in chief to try to clean up the mess. But I got a surprise for you, Barack. We are going to continue to be free thinkers. We're going to continue to fight people who want to censor us. We're going to continue to be the people that we need to be because we are starting to arise. Because I don't like the word woke. We are starting to arise to the occasion so that we can create a better America where Democrats and conservatives and independents can live freely and prosperous. And you're right, we do need to turn the page because the book that I'm reading right now, if I turn the page based on what Kamala said about her own self, I would be signing up to read the book a little bit longer for 4 more years. And that's not what I want to do.
You can't say that's not a role model.
I would say he's not a role model. A role model is someone whom you would like other African-American boys to aspire to be. When you look at President Barack Obama's political behavior in the White House towards African-Americans, I cannot in good conscience want any African-American boy to emulate the neglect that their president has shown for African-Americans. In fact, when you look at the black reality, each index of black progress has actually regressed since Obama has been in the White House. Dropout is higher, unemployment is worse, incarceration is higher, police brutality has almost went back to the days of Reconstruction, pre-Jim Crow. Mind you, he's done nothing about it.
Well, I get the frustration that many black men have. To say that Obama did nothing for black people is not totally true. In regards to black males, President Obama launched the My Brother's Keeper program in February 2014 in response to the death of Trayvon Martin. The program sought to address the persistent opportunity gaps boys and young men of color face and to ensure all young people can reach their full potential. This was basically a mentorship program across the country. Local leaders contributed to shifting policies to help young black boys and, again, young black men. In 2009, President Obama signed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, creating jobs, spurring economic growth, and investments in black communities. The Recovery Act was vital to the African American communities because African Americans faced higher rates of unemployment than the national average. There was also things like reforming sentencing and prison reentry, where President Obama successfully pushed to reduce the disparity in sentencing between those convicted of crack versus powder cocaine. The administration convened a cabinet-level reentry council to advance effective prisoner reentry strategies. Communities of color are most broadly impacted by the efforts, where 1 in 9 African-American children has an incarcerated parent. He also promoted responsible fatherhood, which is similar to how a lot of Republicans are also stating similar effects towards black fathers. But with President Obama, he encouraged the private sector to offer discounted opportunities for dads and kids to connect at ballparks, bowling alleys, and museums across the country. The administration also worked with Congress to increase fatherhood funding that supports nonprofits and faith-based organizations around the country that helps fathers reconnect with their families. So do I think that Obama could have said a lot of things he said better? Yes. A part of it, I feel like Obama has been scrutinized as someone who is half black, and maybe he's internalized a lot of it. And I think that Obama has kind of talked about a conflicting identity, etc. But I just really think it's strange that Obama is someone who was a canvasser and knew how to meet with local people, etc., and do grassroots work. So I don't understand why Obama didn't use that approach with trying to persuade or inform black male voters. I don't think a lot of black men do well to people kind of just saying, this is what's wrong with you, this is what's wrong with you, unless maybe you're an elder or someone they find close. I think a lot of Black men today and in general probably feel overwhelmed and scrutinized with their public image. And Barack Obama doesn't have the best image or policies. A lot of people don't believe that Barack Obama really did anything for Black people. So for him to like just say that towards Black men, I just don't think it helped the situation. I think Obama is highly intelligent, and I think that he could and should do better. That's just my general opinion about this subject. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below, and thank you for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see y'all next time.